Welcome to Will It Build, the series where I take your builds from my YouTube comments and Discord server and put them to the test to see if they are the real deal. If it's solid, then I'll gift you 1,000 silver, and if it's really something special, you'll be featured in a dedicated build video for your submitted build. So comment yours below so we can answer the question, will it build? Welcome back to another episode of Will It Build, where for this episode, we're heading back to the traditional method of emblem giveaways that we've been doing for this episode of Will It Build, where we're going to be giving away 2 emblems, one of which will be given to a random lucky commenter who also likes the video and is subscribed to the channel, whereas the second emblem is hidden somewhere in this video. So just keep your eyes peeled, try and find that code. It'll appear somewhere on screen as you're watching the video. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because we have got a spectacular one today lined up, submitted by Pantry Raider, called Wrath of the Gods Grenade Spam, where we're taking a Prismatic Warlock. And don't freak out. I know you see exotic class item. You're like, oh no, I don't like going for exotic class. Don't worry. There is an alternate non-exotic class item option for this build that still allows you to execute the core gameplay loop, still allows you to rock and roll, and still allows you to use this build in endgame content like Grandmaster Nightfalls. If you have access to exotic class items, great. If you don't, I'll show you the alternate exotic option in a bit. But first things first, looking at our exotic class item that we're going with this, the key things here, or rather the key thing here, is the Spirit of Verity, where weapon final blows with a damage type matching your grenade grant a stacking grenade damage bonus and improved grenade regeneration. How much specifically, you might wonder? If we travel over here to the Destiny Data Compendium, a lot of words, small text, but I'll zoom in right here for you. In the Destiny Data Compendium, Spirit of Verity, we see upon scoring a grenade element matching weapon kill, we get a stack of death throws up to 5 stacks, increasing our grenade ability damage and giving us bonus grenade ability regeneration rate per stack. So if we look a little bit closely here at the death throws stack counters, it looks like each stack will give us a 0.5% bonus grenade energy regeneration rate per second, whereas if we look at the damage stacks, at 1 stack we get a 40% bonus to grenade damage, and then it looks like it increments by 15% extra grenade damage per stack, where at 5 stacks of death throws we are doing literally double grenade damage with just half of our exotic class item alone. Now, as long as you have an exotic class item with the Spirit of Verity, your first option isn't the most important thing in the world. Spirit of Verity is going to be the main thing here, but if you have it available to you, the best option that you are going to have, the best pairing that you're going to have, is going to be the Spirit of Inmost Light, where anytime you use an ability, it empowers the other 2 abilities, gives you improved regeneration, and it just allows you to cycle your abilities, spam your abilities. And with some of the other ability regeneration that we're going to have in this build, you're effectively going to have all 3 abilities up at all times. And with the regeneration of Spirit of Verity and with the double grenade damage that we're going to be getting, it's just going to absolutely mow down everything, even in stuff like Grandmaster Nightfalls. What I will say is, like I said, Spirit of Verity is the #1 most important thing here, and Inmost Light is the best pairing, but I would say the definitive second best pairing, if you have access to this, would be the Spirit of Osmiomancy in conjunction with the Spirit of Verity. So if you don't have an Inmost Verity, go with Osmiomancy Verity. If you don't have an Osmiomancy Verity, then just go Verity with everything. If you don't have a single exotic class item that has Verity, then what you can instead do is just go ahead and rock the base Verity's Brow exotic helmet, which is much easier to acquire. In fact, most people probably already have this since it's been in the game for a very long time. This will just give you all of the effects of the Spirit of Verity. You just won't have the second perk running the exotic class item. So if you don't have an exotic class item with Spirit of Verity, the Verity's Brow helmet will work perfectly fine in the interim while you go ahead and grind out an exotic class item. Or if you have no desire to grind out an exotic class item, you can just rock and roll with the Verity's Brow for this build until the end of time. Now, as we look to the rest of the build, we need to look at the specific text of Spirit of Verity, where it says weapon final blows with a damage type matching your grenade. So our weapon choices for this build are going to be heavily influenced by the element of our grenade so that we can take advantage of the Spirit of Verity. So when we look at our subclass here, we see that we are rocking with the Storm Grenade for Prismatic Warlock. As such, we're going to want to make sure that a lot of our weaponry is arc, so that our arc weapon final blows will give us death throws for our arc grenade. As far as the rest of the subclass recommendations go, they recommended Song of Flame. They did say that you can kind of swap this out for something else if you would like. Song of Flame is just generally pretty good, but I could totally see applications for Nova Bomb or Needle Storm, depending on the activity that you're running, especially if there's surges or something of that nature. Super is kind of up to you. Class ability, definitely want to be going with Phoenix Dive. Absolutely incredible on Prismatic Warlock. Snap of the Finger Cure for you and your entire fire team, and lowest base cooldown class ability, which is not only important for some of our aspects that we got going on with this build, but it's also very important for the Inmost Light feature of our exotic class item, because a lower base cooldown class ability means that we can use our class ability more, which means we can proc Inmost Light more, which means we can get bonus regenerations for our melee and our grenade more. As far as our melee goes, Arcane Needle, 3 charges on the Arcane Needle makes it so that we have 3 ways with our melee ability to proc Spirit of Inmost Light for our grenade and class ability regeneration. So kind of a no-brainer going with something like this, and it pairs quite nicely with one of the fragments that we have that we'll get to in just a second. As far as aspects go, should be a no-brainer. Anytime you're going Prismatic Warlock, Feed the Void is an absolute staple. Not only do you get Devour anytime you defeat a target with any ability, but it's Empowered Devour as well, which means double grenade regeneration on every single kill while you're in possession of Devour, which means more Storm Grenades, which is what this build is all about. And it gives you a 200 HP heal per kill instead of a 100 HP heal per kill if you're using Devour with any other subclass or any other acquisition method of Devour other than Feed the Void. Our other aspect is going to be Hellion. That's going to give us 3 fragment slots and give us the good old Solar Mortar anytime we activate our class ability. Now, like I said before, having a very low cooldown class ability like Phoenix Dive, not only great for Inmost Light procs, but also good for taking advantage of Hellion as much as possible. More class abilities equals more Hellions. No-brainer right there. As far as our fragments go, Faceted Purpose, picking up an Orb of Power grants either Restoration if we're using Song of Flame, Overshield if we go with Nova Bomb, or Woven Mail if we go with Needle Storm. Pretty much a prismatic fragment staple. This is pretty much going to be always seen in every single build. Next up, we got the Facet of Courage, where our Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with darkness debuffs. And this right here is why I mentioned that Arcane Needle, again, is a really nice choice for this build because of how well it pairs with this. If we look at our grenade, we have an arc grenade, obviously, and we have a strand darkness melee that applies Unraveling, which is a darkness debuff. So if we throw our arcane needle at an enemy and give it Unraveling, a darkness debuff, then our arc abilities, aka our storm grenade right here, and our Hellion as well, which is a solar ability, will deal bonus damage to those targets. And since we have 3 charges of the arcane needle, really nice for like high priority targets, tankier targets. Get to go ahead and throw an arcane needle at them real quick before you throw your light abilities. Your light abilities cook them a little bit harder. Feels really, really good. Next up, we have the Facet of Dawn. Powered melee hits against targets makes you radiant, which again is really nice with arcane needle. We have 3 charges, so it means at any given moment, if we have max charges, we can proc this 3 times in a row and have radiant for a very long time. And 4th slot, Facet of Protection, bonus damage resistance. Nothing else really needs to be said about that one. And then in our final slot, we have the Facet of Dominance, where our Void Grenades are going to weaken targets and our Arc Grenades are going to jolt targets. Obviously, we are primarily taking advantage of this one through its second one, where our Arc Grenades jolt targets because we're using Storm Grenade. But what's actually kind of cool about Prismatic Warlock is there's actually a way to take advantage of both of these, and that's because of our Transcendence Grenade, Freezing Singularity. Because when we are in Transcendence, and this overwrites our grenade, we are throwing a mass of Void energy and Stasis Matter. So when we throw our Prismatic Grenade, it is void damage, and so it will inherit the properties of the Facet of Dominance, the first part of it, where our Void Grenades weaken targets. So basically, if we're not in Transcendence and we're using Storm Grenade, our grenade jolts targets, and if we are in Transcendence and we're using our Freezing Singularity, then our grenades weaken targets. So it's really cool to have both of those options in the same build. Now, looking at the weapons for this build, they recommended, obviously, weapons matching our grenade type, so we're going with arc weapons here, but they also recommended specifically weapons that have Demolitionists for even more ways to juice up our grenade energy refund, and so that when we throw our grenades, that automatically reloads the weapon that we currently have out with Demolitionist. So if we have something like a machine gun with Demolitionist, this is the one from Crota's End, but the Terminus Horizon from Spire of the Watcher for Right of the Nine also can roll Demolitionist along with some other really good perks. It's a really nice option where getting kills with this is going to give you death throws, plus a bunch of extra grenade energy through Devour, plus a bunch of extra grenade energy through Demolitionist, and then when you throw your grenade, it just reloads the mag, so you have very high uptime on being able to shoot these weapons. Up here, I'm going with something like Oversoul Edict, again from Crota's End, Demolitionist, and Volt Shot. Literally whatever arc weapon you want, though. I also really like my Ikelos SMG with Demolitionist on it. Feels absolutely spectacular. I might give this a run as well, but any arc thing with demolition is completely up to you. In our top slot, they actually gave us 3 different options, and I'm really excited about all 3 of them. Top slot, option number 1, they recommended Witherhoard. Generally speaking, an amazing weapon. It's probably honestly my favorite weapon in the entire game if I was really forced to pick one. I think this thing just feels so good to use. I absolutely love it. Second one, little harder to get, Conditional Finality. This weapon is just a really fun special weapon to use. Really nice for Grandmasters and stuff like that as well. Anything with champions, because you have an on-demand ability to be able to stop unstoppable and overload champions just with the gun in and of itself. No matter what episode it is, no matter what champion episodic mods there are, this one can take care of both of them. And generally speaking, freeze plus ignition, decent damage across the board no matter where you are. But the third option that they recommended is the one that I'm probably going to be trying out today and the one I'm most excited about, and that is the brand new exotic sniper rifle that you can only get with a pre-order of the Year of Prophecy, and that is the New Land Beyond. And I'm really excited about this weapon, especially in something like Grandmaster content, because, and this is, as you see, that is the first time I've ever pulled it, so I will fire my very first bullet out of the New Land Beyond in this video. But what I was told was that its exotic trait, scoring precision hits, increases this weapon's damage until the wielder's defeat. I was told that doesn't go away if you holster the weapon. It doesn't have a time-based thing, nothing like that. So if you play well and you're consistently hitting precision shots and you're not dying, you're playing positioning well, you're playing good cover, by the end of the strike, or by the end of the activity, when you get into a situation where you're arriving at the boss or you have high priority targets that you need to smoke down, if you've been playing well, then your stat counter is going to be ridiculously high, which means you're going to clap anything at the end of the activity with this weapon. In theory, that's how it's working in my brain. So the idea that we're going with this build is we're going to make our way through the strike, hit the tankier targets with our New Land Beyond when we're able to. Other than that, we're going to mow through everything with our grenade spam and getting our grenades back with our demolitionist weapons. And by the end of the strike, we're going to have a very juiced up New Land Beyond. We've got a Song of Flame panic button to avoid dying so we don't lose any of our New Land Beyond stacks. And I think that's basically the main idea of this. Now, before we hop into the strike armor mods, we've got an arc siphon for our arc weapons and a heavy ammo finder mod. You could probably switch this to a special ammo finder if you wanted to have a little bit more ammo in your New Land Beyond. I would say that decision is up to you. Down here, we've got firepower so that we have grenade final blows creating orbs of power. It makes perfect sense with how many grenades we'll be throwing. Momentum transfer, causing damage with a grenade, reduce our melee cooldown for more arcane needles, and bolstering detonation so we get class ability regen when we cause damage with our grenade. I know knee-jerk reaction might be, well, wait a minute, Mac, this build is all grenade centric. Don't we want to invest into mods that refund grenade energy? And in my opinion, the answer is probably no, because if you think about all the ways we have to get grenade energy back, Demolitionist, Devour, Inmost Light from our class item, it makes sense to give love to our other abilities, because giving love to our other abilities actually lets us give even more love back to our grenade because of that Inmost Light. Down on chest piece, concussive dampener and resistances, whatever elements are applicable for the activity that you're doing. Down on the boots, arc scavenger, whatever scavengers for your heavy weapon. You could also maybe go a kinetic scavenger if you like, if you want to play more into the New Land Beyond. And then we got invigoration, melee cooldown every time we pick up an orb, and insulation, class ability cooldown every time we pick up an orb. And then finally, class item, Reaper, no-brainer. Reaper is awesome on every build. Powerful attraction, scoop up all the orbs when you cast the class ability, and outreach, a little chunk of melee energy whenever we cast that class ability as well. So that's the build. I need 2 folks from the live stream who are currently watching twitch.tv/Mactics, by the way, where we record all of these live. I need 2 folks, 2 volunteers who want to step into the Grandmaster Nightfall with me and rock and roll so we can answer that question. Will it build? I know I've been playing too much Magic the Gathering recently because at the current moment, my brain is saying to myself, man, every time I land a shot, I get a 1/1 counter on my New Land Beyond. If only I could play an enchantment that doubled all my 1/1 counters, I could get it stacked so much more quickly. And then I'm like, wait a minute, this is Destiny 2. That's not a thing. Okay. Reload this puppy. Shields up. Bang. Where's his face? The scope is a little wonky, I can't lie. Ooh, okay, never mind. I'm kind of getting used to it. Oh, no, you don't. I'm going for this. And hit the dive so I don't die. Hit the needle. There's my devour. Oh, yeah. Oh! This thing hits so hard once you get it stacked. I'm only at 11 stacks as well. Is that... Oh, my God. Drainbane, #1 worst enemy in the game. I would rather fight 5 unstoppable champions than fight a single Drainbane. I should be spacing out my melees a little bit more so I can be getting additional procs of Inmost Light. No, 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 no. My stacks! My stacks! Oh. I like New Land Beyond, I do, but it is a depressing weapon to use if you die. I'm still just, my one problem with New Land Beyond is New Land Beyond really wants to kind of be the star of the show. And if you are trying to make New Land Beyond the star of the show, then it doesn't give a lot of room for your other stuff to shine, like your Verity and getting final blows with your arc weapons. It's the one thing I'm having trouble with here. And I don't think that's necessarily a fault of New Land Beyond. I think that's more so of a fault of me not being too familiar with this build yet and not knowing how to balance the prioritizations of when to use what. So I think as I keep playing with this a little bit, I'll get that rhythm. All right, we Song of Flaming. Nice. And then I should be able to just pull up and kind of play like a psycho because I'm in Song of Flame, which means I can't die. Missed the New Land Beyond shot. Let's go. Let's go. That storm grenade went huge. Oh! God. Yo, chill, brother. Okay, that's fine. Get stunned and then do the ground slam anyway. Nice. Okay, get that out. Transcend. Boom. What I will say is the New Land Beyond will be nice for the Shrieker. If I could hit him. Bang. Where did they come from? I thought I just killed those two ogres. I'm gonna call Bungie real quick and tell them that this room needs more Banes. My biggest issue with this room is that there's not enough Banes. Guys, don't worry. I am back up to 1 stack of the Master. 2 stacks of the Master! We should have... Boys, can we dunk the tributes, please? Thanks. I'm so upset at myself for dying so far, because if I had a 20 stacker on the New Land going into the final boss fight, it would just cook so hard. I just want like 10. If I can have 10 stacks walking into a boss fight, that would feel good. All I need to do is hit my shots. Didn't hit my shot. What are you doing up there? Is she supposed to be up there? Oh my God. Thank you. 1 in a row. You know what? Maybe this weapon isn't for me, and that's okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, 10 stacks. 11 stacks. New record. Uh-oh. Yes! Yes! No, he's zealous! Hold still. Hold still. Yes! I'm stacking! 19. I'm not actually this bad at the... well. Oh, 20 stacks. I'm the Grand Master. Okay, come on. Cook this fool. Bang! 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 Oh. Let's go, baby! Okay, is that a... That's a barrier champ. I got this, boys, don't worry. Bang! Bang! Let's go! Fun fact, did you know if you press the grenade button while holding the synaptic spear, you can blink? I know we could go back on that platform. That would be the safe and smart way to play this. But this makes for a way better video, no? 92K. 92K. Ooh! Oh! Oh! I don't even have Radiant right now. I'm transcending! Okay, I have Devour. Please. Let me live. Uh-oh. Is that an unstoppable ogre, by the way? Nice. Great, okay. So here's the thing. Was fun, was good, but I feel like we didn't truly play into, like, the fantasy of the build, which is supposed to be grenade spam, get a lot of arc kills. And I think a big reason for that is because New Land Beyond really wants you to have New Land Beyond out as much as possible, getting hits with it as much as possible. And that doesn't stack your Verity at all. So I think if we try something now like Wither Horde, where we're just like pulling out the Wither Horde, shooting it, and then put it in the pocket, and then shooting with our other guns, I feel like we can make a lot more use of Verity with our arc weapon final blows. So we're gonna make that swap and run it back. Oh, we don't have a way to stun barrier champions anymore since I took the sniper off. Whoops. Yay! Death throws, death throws, death throws. Oh, never mind. We do. Somehow. I don't know how. See what I mean? Where we can just shoot the Wither Horde and then put it in our pocket and then pull our arc weapon back out? This feels way better from like a synergy perspective. And I'm gonna post up here. Yeah, get some. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Retreat! Oh, he's stunned. Nice. Transcending. Pop, pop. Wither Horde. Need to be mixing in the Wither Horde a little bit more. I'm gonna squish the ghost. Okay, this is feeling saucy. Prismatic grenade, needle, needle. Yeah, our ability uptime is way higher because we're actually focusing on the usage of our arc weapons because we can just pull out our Wither Horde, boom, dump a shot. And where, huh? Where did that go? Is my game okay? Where did he come from? I got Teleport City going on over here. You know what else I really love about Wither Horde? It gets your Transcendence energy filled up so quickly. So now I can go Transcendence. Hit this fella, get my Radiant. Give me my Radiant again. Now I can actually hit through his shield. Give me my Radiant again. Meteors! I'm gonna focus some of the squishier stuff so I get death throws and I get my demolitionist procs. My grenade back a little more quickly. And I don't feel like actually reloading my machine gun, so just throw a grenade, boom, back to full. All right, we're just gonna run him down. I ain't stopping. Just kind of keeping an eye out. Get a couple arc kills so we get our death throws. I know there's supposed to be an unstop somewhere. I think. Maybe? There he is. Nice. Nuke him. Drain Bane. Hate that. Thanks, Devour. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want in my builds. I want to be able to boot up a Grandmaster Nightfall and just run him down. Out of ability energy, so it's prismatic time. And one of these. Wither Horde, another one of these. Okay, we're all done with that one, which means I think we get like ogres and champions or something. Oh, we get a shrieker. Witherhoard the shrieker. Stick him. Dead. Okay. That shrieker is still up. That guy's the main problem. Get him with the MG. I see an ogre over there as well. Ogres hurt so much in this. Get him with one of those. Stormy grenade. Ooh. Another stormy grenade. Worst case scenario, I could pop super. Thanks for the tribute. Now we'll go super. Just for safety. Alright. Okay, keep on spamming storm grenades. That's a nice tether. I'm getting in her face. I mean, I have Devour. And my death throws. That was cool. Okay, we're just gonna hit this. That's our emergency. Our emergency button. And I can stun the unstop. And then kill him. And then I should be able to get the Barrier Knight because I have Radiant while I'm in the super. Nice. Song of Flame is so good. A little blink. I think once we spawn the double Sabathoons, we all want to immediately run up to where I am. This is such a good position to play from. That, like, top right side is so good. Got the stick. Just looking like a little Storm's Keep action. Yeah, and then I think let's go top right, I think. We can run up here. There's a spear right here, and then we can insta-kill the right side one if we all just chuck. Get that grenade out. I am a little worried about the unstop ogre. Like, I'm kind of trying to keep my eye out for him. This acolyte out of here. Okay, yeah. Now we're a billion times safer. Couple killies. Whoa. That's a lot of dudes over there. Pull out the Wither. I missed. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, though. Getting our Storm Grenade out. Pop the Prismatic. Weakening Grenade. I hit him! I hit him with Witherhoard! And then we'll just run him down. Song of Flame. And he's toast. Where's this ghost? What the? No! No! That was not my fault. Why is his ghost there? I digress. 19 minutes, 22 seconds. Not a bad time at all, dude. Not a bad time. Yeah, I mean, not too shabby. 185 kills, 48 orbs created. Will it build? At the end of the day, yeah. I mean, you know, you beat a Grandmaster Nightfall, the Psyops Moon Battleground, what a lot of people consider to be a particularly difficult one. You beat that in under 20 minutes with highest kill count on the leaderboard. I feel like that, you know, that kind of tells you it's a pretty decent build. What I will say is, it definitely is tough to work certain special ammo weapons in the rotation. I don't really love New Land Beyond with it, just because New Land Beyond loves to be out and used very, very much, which takes the attention away from the arc weapons, which takes attention away from the Spirit of Verity, which takes attention away from your grenade-centric build. But if you do something like Witherhoard, I feel like it makes it feel a lot nicer just because of the nature of you're only pulling out Wither Horde to shoot a bullet, then you stick it right back in your pocket while auto loads, and then you can let your arc weapon shine and let your Verity shine and let your Storm Grenade shine. So that is what I will say. Yes, it will build. However, I don't think it will really build with New Land Beyond. I think definitely going to want to go the Wither Horde angle or the conditional finality angle. But here's the thing. I love New Land Beyond. That was my very first time using it, and it feels very, very fun. So I don't know if it's gonna be the next episode of Will It Build, but like within the next 2 or 3 episodes, I want a New Land Beyond centric build. So anyone currently watching this who is like, oh, dude, I've got a build that revolves around New Land Beyond. It bangs, does really well in Grandmasters, does really good in all types of content. Make sure you submit it in the Will It Build channel in the Discord server, linked in the description below, so we can try it out and feature it on the channel, because I want a build that's all about New Land Beyond, because the stacking nature and hitting 250k per shot on this weapon, very, very fun. So, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you did enjoy watching today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.